let's start with the East Africa region. It's been attracting a lot of investor interest, and that means foreign investor interest. But in terms of intra-regional trade and sitting at the East Africa Chamber of Commerce, what are you seeing? Are we doing a lot of intra-regional trade within the East Africa community?
I would like to say, Claire, that we are doing a lot of that. In fact, we are the largest traders among ourselves. Surprisingly, Kenya, actually, its largest trading bloc currently is the East African region, headed by Uganda. Uganda is number 1, Tanzania number 2. And then you say COMESA-wide becomes number 3. So there is a lot of intra-African trade that's going on there. And that is before we start moving out to our former traditional exports markets, which is European mainly. So I'm happy for that in terms of East Africa. But then, of course, if you compare to the trade that we do with each other within the African continent, is a totally different story. We trade with each other only about 11%, whereas Europe trades with itself to the level of about 72 to 77%. Now, we have to make a way to get nearer that gap, to bridge the gap. Kenya is doing enough. I think we are open to everybody in the region. Uganda, similarly, is actually doing quite well. Rwanda is doing well. Burundi, they have no choice than to buy from us, from others. Tanzania, we have some difficulties, and I look forward to some day when we can actually open up that economy fully.
We are trading, yes, but there are still issues. And we've seen government sort of put up measures to increase trade, to make the region more competitive, more attractive. And I will go back to the issues. We've had the issues of Kenya, Tanzania. Recently we had Kenya, Tanzania banning flights from Kenya. What can we do as a region to encourage best practices for the overall good of the trading bloc, if I should say so?
One thing I believe, and I can say that from a bit of position of knowledge, because I know a bit of the workings of the EAC, the Community Secretariat itself. We need to strengthen the private sector directorate there. We have focused too much more on infrastructure, not knowing that really we need also to remove the barriers that actually hinder us from trading more regularly with each other. As you said, Tanzania is actually a major issue with us, a major issue of concern. I have addressed it directly with the president of Tanzania Chamber of Commerce, who is now my chairman. And we had intentions actually to raise the issues with their president, the Honorable Jakaya Kikwete.
Ethiopia is a country that is generating a lot of interest. It's a country that, yes, it's not within the regional trading bloc, the East Africa community, but it's within the region geographically. What, in your opinion, what is causing all this interest? Because we've seen double-digit growth there. We've seen a whole lot of investor interest. For example, Heineken last week announced it's putting up a 10 billion shilling plant there. We've seen them sort of bringing up their power sector. They are building the Grand Renaissance Dam. What are they doing right? And especially looking from an outsider perspective, where it looks like a closed economy, but there are all these good things happening.
Well, the thing is, Ethiopia is generally driven by the public sector. Even the investments, they are going there because the government is very, very aggressive, and they are giving quite a bit of attractive incentives. What we have problems with, and there's some 4 issues that we discussed at length, and I can tell you we were represented equally. Half of the participants in the forum was government and half was private sector. They have issues with taxation. You have to pay taxes, duty, excise duty, by duty I'm talking about customs duty, the excise duty itself, the consumption tax, which is basically VAT. You pay, and even if the goods are for actually further processing, you must pay duty upfront. You know, here in Kenya we have actually that waiver. If you are bringing goods for further processing as inputs to your own basic manufacturing processes, you have kind of a way, you pay basically the consumption tax, which is the VAT, which you get a revert of, let alone after you have actually shown the KRA, Kenya Revenue Authority, what you have done. Ethiopia is not that way, actually. You have a lot of difficulties. Obviously, they are not as far along with others administrative measures that you require to run successful business like ICT. We still have only one mobile phone operator. Yeah. And if I go with my BlackBerry, it is totally out, useless to me. And the licensing is another issue. And of course, customs, as we said, they are really very strict as to what they can waive in and out. But because of the incentive the government is giving them, because of the amount of actually goodwill they get, the infrastructure development that is taking place, Ethiopia seems to be attractive for business.